I told people that we were coming back to visit, and so many people said, "Welcome home."
Heidi, thank you so much for coming again. This is your second time on the podcast. It was 3 years ago, almost today, because it was in May 2021.
Okay.
Now it is now it's April 2024. So almost 3 years exactly since the last time I saw you. You're just leaving after 7 years of living in Japan. One of the first, any of you that want to see Heidi's podcast from the beginning, she was number 35. This time she's going to be 350. That's 315 podcasts since the last time I saw her. So she took a chance on me, invited me to her house, and let me record her there. And I couldn't have been more pleased. Fantastic. And you should look at the first podcast and you'll find out more about her. Okay? You'll find out about her background, which she gave you extensively during that podcast. Fantastic. Yeah. So what has it been like since you've gone back, the 3 years back there? Tell me, first of all, what did you see that was really different? How did you start to come in after living 7 years in Japan?
Well, the transition was very different because culturally it's different. No longer being an expat and just being a regular American citizen is different. Family dynamics is different. It was not doing everything that I was doing in Japan. Life has slowed down a bit. We purchased a beach house, and that's become a very big part of our lives. So that was very much a positive. It's an empty nest now. My children are both at college.
Right. When you went back, they had already gone into college, right?
Yes. So Cristopher went in, yes.
At that time, right? So you went back empty nesters.
No, Cristopher was just going in. So Cristiano was already in.
Right.
But, it's different when it's just the two of you at home every morning, every afternoon, and every night.
but first of all, Heidi, you had COVID. So you'd already had a chance to see what it was like to be with Chris the whole time.
Yeah. But the children add a different dimension as well.
So what were some of the major things? What happened? What do you think?
I just think it's, there's a lot more independence. There's a lot more freedom on our part. Chris works 5 days a week, but, I don't have to have a meal made every single night. If he comes home and we decide that we want to just go to dinner at the spur of the moment or have a date night or whatever, then that's easier to do that. Or to also pick up and travel on the weekends, locally or nearby. So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. What are some of the, when you went back, did you already have the house before you went back?
So we had always kept our Pennsylvania house.
So this is the house you're in now?
Which is, yes, the house that the children and I went back to every single summer.
Okay.
And then I had so much furniture from living here for 7 years that I absolutely loved, plus everything that I had purchased in Japan over those 7 years that I wanted to house. We ended up purchasing a second residence on the New Jersey shore.
And putting some of the furniture there?
All of that was moved there.
Okay.
Yep. So I basically relocated my Tokyo house to the Jersey shore with all the belongings inside.
Okay, what are some of the things that you saw that were really, initially right away, that you felt were really different after you'd been here 7 years and you went back to the States were hard for you to adjust to?
Well, I think you're starting out all over again. I didn't really have many friends except a few neighbors that we had kept in our neighborhood in Pennsylvania. I didn't have all the activities coming out of the Tokyo American Club. That's probably, you're recreating again. You're recreating yourself and you're recreating those social contacts. Mm-hmm. So that was a little bit difficult. It made it a little easier for us because we joined the Philadelphia Union League. The Union League of Philadelphia. It's a private club as well.
Is it affiliated with us?
It's a reciprocal.
It's reciprocal.
Of the Tokyo American Club.
Okay.
So that was very much helpful to build new contacts, to build friends, to get involved again with the things that I'm passionate about. They have a legacy foundation which educates students on civics education, and as you know, I'm a lifelong educator, so that was very helpful.
Well, you were very instrumental in a lot of things that happened here at the American Club. Was this your first time being involved with club life?
Here? Yes. At the club, yes it was.
Same here.
Yes, yeah.
Wasn't that a blessing?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh.
You learn so much.
Tell me about it, about yourself, about the people around you. But you did something similar to me. You came in here and you just rocked the house. You became
I don't know about all that, but
you became the women's group president. And you said, wait just a minute, we have men coming over as the trailing spouse too, so I think we need to change this only women's group and let's call it something different. Let's call it Connections.
Yep.
And did you not do that?
Yeah, that's what we did.
Wow.
And as you well know, it's not easy to bring about change in Japan.
Not in Japan, anywhere, because what I found throughout my time on this planet is that people don't like change unless they're the ones making it. If you ask them, that's going to happen.
Yep.
But if it's their decision, they'll do it.
Yep.
All right, now you've been gone for 3 years. How has Japan changed since you've been gone? We have the largest, right behind us, you can't see, we have the largest office building in Japan. In Japan, right behind us. Does this place change? It's like a movie, isn't it? You've
Yes.
been gone 3 years. What is it like? What did you notice when you came back?
Yesterday we took an early morning walk through the neighborhood of where we lived in Zabajiban, and that hasn't changed much. You know, obviously being an expat community, many of the people that were here are no longer here. They have transitioned
right.
back to their home as well. But, you know, there's always change in Japan because of the turnover in structures that are torn down and built up. Many of the restaurants are still the same, and coming back here, we made it important to go and visit those places that we were close to over 7 years, whether it's restaurant owners or people. So many of the same people are here. I don't think the club has changed too much. That's pretty much stayed the same. But
Did you find that, don't you think it's because social media, and you're very active on social media. I mean, thank you so much, because you like everything I put out. I mean, one person I'm sure is going to see whatever I put out is Heidi. Every time I have somebody, Heidi's person, Lance, that's a great guy. Oh, she's so fantastic. So I run it by you first. Do you think that's made a difference? Because a couple of decades ago, if you left somewhere, when you came back, you didn't know it. You couldn't keep it. You couldn't Google map it and zoom down and see if it's changed or not.
sure.
So did you find that helped to make it your transition there and coming back here again?
Yeah, and last night was a perfect example. We're sitting here in Tokyo and expecting that we're going to see friends here. And I had posted yesterday about seeing the sakura. And next thing I know, very dear friends of ours from Philadelphia contacted me and go, guess what, we're in Tokyo too. Let's get together tonight for cocktails. So we sat at this very table last night.
Is that right?
And had cocktails with friends from Philadelphia who we didn't even know was here at the same time we were. So, you know, I think that's the power and the positivity of social media.
Isn't it?
Yep.
You have to use it. These tools we're having now, a lot of people boo-hoo it. They do that with chat and everything else. I'm saying, wait, the tools can only be as good as you are.
Yeah. And how you use them.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Now, when you left, when I talked to you before, you said when you went back, Chris was suggesting that you might get back involved in decorating. And, well, what happened? did you do it? What have you taken up the 3 years you've been back?
I decorate, obviously. We went
Right.
back and I had to redo parts of our Pennsylvania home. Minor changes, not a lot, painting and things like that. So that was kind of fun to sort of bring that back up to date and livable again and comfortable. And then, of course, completely putting together the beach house from all of the Japanese decorations that we have. So that was fun as well. He still encourages me to do that. I mean, I'm always glad to give advice to people that we know, but it's not something that I've certainly pursued professionally. I am working a little bit. We've made friends from the Union League that own a fashion boutique on the Philadelphia main line, high-end fashion for women. And I'm working at the boutique, and I really like that. It's keeping me busy, and I enjoy that. I did that many years ago. I was involved with fashion, so.
Okay. Did you get involved with education, or your passion is education as well?
You know, I thought about that as well when I returned, but it's just, Something that I'm just not interested in doing right now, except, like I said, involved with the Legacy Foundation. And
Okay. What about your library and your books? What do you do with that? Where's that, in your home or in your beach home?
much of we still have books in both houses. Many of the books that I used over the years for teaching, which was probably almost 1,000 books of every variety and reading level, we donated to the local library.
You donated all of them?
Many of them. I've kept a few. You know, books are best in the hands of children.
Okay, well, this one was the one that I was going to give you last time when I was here.
Oh my goodness, look at this.
This was what I was going to give you last time. This isn't the first one, this is the second one. The first one I have to give you a copy of it. My second book. And that's to you.
Oh my goodness.
And you said everyone that gives you a book actually signs it, so I signed the book to
Thank you very much.
And
I will treasure this.
I haven't done the third one or the fourth one, fifth one, sixth, seventh, eighth. I want to do 10 of them. But I think chat might help me a little bit, you know? Make it a little bit easier to do it.
This is wonderful.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing.
Because last time I was looking at the podcast the other day and in your home, and I thought I had it with me, and I run and look for it, and I went, I forgot to bring you the book, because I knew you liked books.
Oh,
yes.
My passion, for sure. And these are Philadelphia pretzels for you.
Yeah. Now, what makes them Philadelphia pretzels?
Well,
they're the only ones that put chocolate on them?
Well, Philadelphia is obviously known for pretzels. That and Benjamin Franklin. The chocolate-covered ones come from Asher's, which is a local chocolate factory near our house.
So tell me a little bit again, your feeling about being back in the U.S. What do you miss about Japan that you aren't able to?
We miss the safety aspects.
Okay. And what? Tell me, can you be a little bit more?
Yeah,
detailed
going
about
into
that?
the city, we like going in the city of Philadelphia, but you know they've been really struggling with high crime.
What types of crimes?
Oh,
Just
homicide, guns, robberies, all of it, unfortunately. So where we could just get on the subway and get down to wherever we needed to get to, we don't do that there.
Ever?
No, because the subway is just really not a safe place in the city right now.
Can I ask something personal? Do you carry?
We do not.
I'm sorry, I wouldn't be any good in the States because I would be, people would see it on me. I'd have tattoos on me saying I got the gun.
It's not that bad yet. Let's hope it doesn't get to that point.
All right.
That doesn't mean that eventually we wouldn't consider carrying, but
It's crossed your mind.
it has crossed our mind.
Have you had any friends that have had any problems?
No, we have had no personal experiences.
That's good.
But,
good.
you know, you do watch
That
the
makes you
6
feel
o'clock news every night, and
I don't watch the news, even here. And I'm happy to say that. I sleep really well at night. And all I have to do is come to the club. If aliens have landed, someone here will tell me. But if that hasn't happened, I won't know.
and their spaceship will be parked here in the
Sure
parking lot.
Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it?
That's right.
Okay, so what are some of the other things that you find when you came here that you immediately said, this is Japan I like?
Oh, it was just so easy. You know, we landed at the airport.
Which
it was
one?
easy, Narita.
Okay.
And you know, it was easy to get here, and everybody was so helpful once we arrived. You know, and the customer service in Japan is the best in the world, in my opinion. It's not like that in the U.S. There's just not that high level of customer service, unfortunately, in most places.
Did you travel? Have you traveled anywhere else since you've been back to the U.S.?
Just locally to different neighboring states,
Okay.
Florida.
You're not interested in Europe? Or
And we
anything?
did go to Ireland as well because our daughter studied abroad. We went there last spring.
Either one of you have Irish blood?
No.
No?
No.
I do.
Yeah?
I know a lot of people do.
Yeah.
So tell me, what advice would you have for people that are coming here after you've been here before? And what areas of Tokyo do you think would be good for people to live in? For expats particularly?
Oh, the typical neighborhoods, the Azabajibans, the, you know, Motosando area, the Roppongi area, all of those.
Mm-hmm.
There is no bad place in Japan.
Isn't that the truth?
I think the one thing that really stood out for me, it was so funny, and I guess I didn't feel this way, but I guess a lot of other people felt this way, and then it hit me, and I guess it's very much the truth. I told people that we were coming back to visit, and so many people said, welcome home. And that just hit me because I thought, wow, I never really thought of that, but it's true. 7 years is a long time out of your life, and it really is home. My heart belongs in both places. It's sort of split down the middle.
But what keeps you in the States? Outside of your home and Chris's job, did you have to go back? You had to go back. If you didn't have to go back, would you have? What do you think? You can speak.
I just think that our children, that's their future. And I want to be there. We're very close with our kids. Mm-hmm. So I think that, we want to make sure that they get started on their adult lives. And we need to be there to support them. So that was my biggest reason for returning to the States.
Would you ever consider coming back to Japan?
We would.
To live?
Sure. Sure.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Now tell me some positive things about the U.S. that you really love that you know you can't get here.
Well, certainly, being able to communicate. We're not fluent Japanese speakers, so that's a bit of an issue. The easy communication. We're very much sports buffs, so enjoying the local sports teams is a lot of fun. It's fun to go back and go to a Penn State football game or to go to a Pittsburgh Steelers game, being born and raised in Pittsburgh, going to a Phillies game. I mean, we like that part of it, and that's different there than it is here. Sports is a big part of American culture. Food. There are foods that we love there, absolutely.
Name some that you like that you don't think they can do it that well here.
Cheesesteak, number one. Philadelphia cheesesteak. It's just not the same in Japan. And barbecuing all the different things, whether it's ribs or, like I said, we're at the beach a lot, and Chris makes a lot of fresh fish on the grill, and so, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you still have your dogs?
Yes. So my dog, yep, I still have her. Took her back from Japan.
She's been around for a while. How old is she now?
We're not sure because we rescued her, so we're not sure of her exact age, but maybe 10.
At least.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
So she's with you.
Yep. She's my baby.
Okay, let me think. What else could we talk about that you haven't done, that you've done, that you've been through here? So you said you've gotten involved with the club that you're in the States. What do you do there? Do you have any committees you're on?
Yes. So on the 1986 table, which is the women's table.
Why is it called 1986
because
table?
that's the year that women were admitted into the club. Yeah. So that, and then, like I said, the Legacy Foundation, which is the civics education branch of the club, and starting things and starting to be involved with activities. And
how many members in the club?
Oh, that's a good question. Okay. I don't know.
Is it as big as this one? Not quite.
Well, we have not only the satellite, which is in the city of Philadelphia. It's one of the oldest clubs in Philadelphia, but then they have purchased other properties.
To do what with?
So we have a beautiful property down on the Jersey Shore that is a golf club.
For just the members?
Yeah. We have a small restaurant on the Jersey Shore that is just a restaurant for members. We have another gorgeous golf property in the Philadelphia suburbs. And then there's also a historic property on the Philadelphia main line. Okay. So they own all of these properties that you can participate in.
Tell me this, okay, as an African American, is it integrated?
Very much so.
It is now?
Yeah.
Because I'm a little older.
Yep.
Quite a bit older than you. And because of that, I remember when things weren't quite the same. You're talking about they just let women in and
yep.
when?
1986.
1986.
Yep.
Wow. That's the year I got married.
Yep.
Here in Japan at this club.
Yep.
They let women in then.
Yep.
Wow. Well, the American club, we were a little bit different. Our traders bar, we didn't let women in for a long time.
Mm. And look, now even the unsanctioned cigar society here is inclusive.
Well, I would. Well, because we know someone sitting here that smokes cigars.
Yes, that's
Does
true.
Chris smoke?
He does.
He does?
Yep.
I get laryngitis. Something about the tobacco, I cannot, not cigarettes, but I don't smoke cigarettes either, but Whenever I get around cigar smoke, I tried to do it once when the guys got together and said, Lance, we have to celebrate because of something that happened. And I smoked it, couldn't speak for weeks. I just couldn't speak. And then when I get around the smoke, something happens to my esophagus. I just can't speak. So you enjoy it? You like a puff every now and then?
I do.
How often do you think you smoke?
Oh, maybe once a month.
Okay. Could you enjoy it? You enjoy it more in the States than you could here? Or are they more strict there? They're about the same?
They're about the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the club non-smoking except for certain areas like this one?
Yes. Yes.
They've done that there as well?
Yes. They have a beautiful cigar room. And most of the reciprocal clubs have, they have a cigar room.
We have an inside-outside area.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not bad.
No.
It's not bad. Okay. All right. Before I end the podcast, Heidi, there's a question I'd love to ask you.
Sure.
If you could magically go back in time, did I ask you this the last time? I don't think so, did I?
I don't think so.
Okay. If you could magically go back in time and meet the younger Heidi and give her advice based upon what you know now, how old would that Heidi be and what advice would you give her?
How old would she be when she gave the advice?
How old would the Heidi be that you gave the advice to?
Oh,
because
I would start early. It's better to start early to give advice. So I would give to the 25-year-old Heidi the advice to not be afraid, to just take every opportunity that possibly comes your way and do it. I was raised an only child, and I just was in my sort of little happy world. But I've come to learn that there's a really big world out there, and to not be afraid, but to take advantage of every single, whether it's a travel opportunity, whether it's a professional opportunity, whether it's a social opportunity, to just try it out, try it on, and go for it.
Right. You got married early too.
I did. I got married at 22.
You and Cristopher, so he saw you and said, guess what? You're not going nowhere. You're mine.
Well, he did kind of say that, actually.
Right. And he looks like a very happy man.
He, most of the time, is pretty happy.
A very happy man. Well, that's beautiful. Thank you so much, Heidi, for being here.
Thank you so much.
I want to thank all of you for watching or listening to this podcast. And never forget, it's all on loan, so continue to reach for the stars.
Because you're too blessed to be stressed.